Tarun Mathur is joining us on the phone line. And Tarun, thank you so much for taking time out and being with us. It's very unfortunate, the kind of situation that we're finding ourselves with Kerala grappling with one of the worst crises in terms of a natural calamity in the last 100 years. And God forbid one is, subject to a similar natural calamity. There are steps that one can take in advance to ensure that they are slightly more well prepared. So, just wanted to start off by talking about the basics and what one needs to do in order to prepare themselves. Tarun, what's your advice?
So you see, you said yourself, right? These are all unforeseen circumstances, but we are prone to earthquakes, cyclones, and natural disasters as we're seeing in Kerala right now. Our humble request is that anybody who understands these problems is insuring themselves. There are a plethora of plans available, be it your health insurance. There's always personal accident insurance, and God forbid, there's also term life insurance that you must buy, much before these events actually hit. And these policies are very, very good now. They've progressed over years, and they cover almost everything. So Act of God is covered. For those who have homes which are in jeopardy right now, one would believe that we should go for home insurance. These products genuinely cover us against financial crisis, and there is accidents, there is damage, there is loss to personal belongings and to life, and these can be insured almost at the click of a button now.
Oh, yes, indeed. There are many things that you can do, but we want to, get your questions and queries answered. So please feel free to dial in. There's a number that's at the bottom of your screens. If you have any questions or queries, do please reach out to us, because there's so many aspects that are involved in this. So let's get down to the basics. We have an email query from Divya. She asks, how can one claim insurance in times of crisis? What is your advice?
Actually, most insurance companies have made it quite easy for us to claim. They have helpline numbers that they've SMS'd, they've broadcasted, and all you need to do is pick up the phone, dial out. They'll be able to help you. They will assist you. They will, if there's anything required, they'll get back to you. For example, let me take a small example here. If you have car insurance, your car is stranded. Some roadside assistance will be provided so that you get out of the crisis at the point in time. But the bottom line is you just need to pick up the phone and dial out a very easy number, and you will get a claim in no matter what condition we are in.
The next question is very pertinent, especially at a time like this when we're seeing the Kerala floods. There has been so much destruction and damage that's been done, Tarun, that a lot of very important documents may be misplaced or may be damaged or completely lost at a time like this. So our next question is from Rajan Vachare. He says, how can one at a time like this file their claims without the important documents or without the papers that they have with them at hand?
So Rajan, fortunately for all of us, insurances now are a very, very digital product. As long as you have your phone number handy, or if you can quote your email ID or your Aadhaar number, insurance companies will help you through the remaining process. So all you need to do is when you call up the helpline number and you say that you don't have documentation, you're going to get asked what is your mobile number, and they will verify your email ID, and that's it. You do not need to worry about the paperwork. The insurance companies have a backup of all the information that you've submitted at the time of buying the policy.
I just want to backtrack a little bit, Tarun, in terms of, what people need to do at a time of a natural calamity, because I believe that there are some steps that you can take even at the time. God forbid the situation isn't very severe, as we've seen for the Kerala floods. In terms of calling the insurer or the agent as soon as possible, taking photographic evidence of the damage that has been done, or trying to recover small objects. So if you could just tell us, at a time of a natural calamity, as difficult as it is to be calm, what are the immediate steps, according to you, that one should take? If, as I said, God forbid, it is not terrible damage or a very severe calamity.
Insurance covers you against a financial crisis. So all you need to do, all that the insurance company will need to process a claim is very, very simple evidence. We do live in a world where we have smartphones. The easiest thing that anybody can do is just click a picture of your damaged goods and keep that with you. And at the time of filing the claim, you'll be able to just give that photograph and get a claim. So it's rather simple, won't be a long answer. At that point in time, I know you need to keep calm, but supposing it's your car that's damaged, take a photograph or a video, keep it with you. So that a loss assessor, when he comes, he'll be able to see that and process your claim. Similarly, for your house or any other insured object that you have, a simple photograph or a simple video will do the job.
Okay. I also want to understand, I believe that people should also in general, in order to secure themselves in anticipation of a situation like this, buy a property insurance or a homeowner's insurance. For those who are watching, Tarun, can you just explain to us what the importance of these are and why one also needs to carry out adequate research before buying into such a policy and how essential it is?
You see, while property and home insurance are present, they have different features, and you need to assess what is it that you want to, insure for. For example, if you look at a home or a property or a shop insurance, there are different things that get covered. Let me take home insurance, for example. There's a structure of your house, which is, the brick and mortar. You can just insure that. So if a calamity like an earthquake happens and, God forbid, there's a crack in your house, all that is covered under structural damage. But today, as we see it, urban life has changed and we have a lot of content. We have, a television, we have microwaves, we have refrigerators, and all these are expensive items. So anything happens, whether it be a natural calamity, whether it be theft or, burglary, you want to ensure that, these are covered because these are expensive items. So when you're buying insurance, you must ensure that you are going through all the features of the plan. You are selecting what you need to insure. If you live in, an earthquake-prone area, then you must insure the structure. However, if you live in an area where you do not think that there will be damage to the structure, then you can only buy and cover the contents of the house. So you need to do a little bit of research on what you're covering. And any insurance company or a site like Policybazaar will be able to help you compare, what exactly is it that you're covering and what's the premium for that. Needless to say, the more you'd like to cover, the more, you'd be at ease, you'd be, financially independent in that respect, trying to get a financial claim once a loss happens. So just do your research on what you're insuring, and the rest, there are products all over which will cover you.
All right. So need to figure out what kind of insurance that you need to get, what needs to be covered, and compare the same. Do your research as well before picking up an insurance and find out that it's suited to your needs individually. We have our next question, and as I said, our phone lines are open. If you want to know how to secure yourself at a time of a natural disaster, if you have any basic questions or queries when it comes to insurance, you're getting free advice. We have Tarun Mathur with us on the phone line, so please do connect with us on the phone number that's at the bottom of your screen, or email us on the moneyshow@etnow.tv. In fact, I'm going to get on board our next query. This has been sent in to us by Neetu Singh. She asks, what happens if you have not insured yourself against risk? And, I'm sure a lot of people will fall in the category of not having taken the adequate steps or having filed the adequate documents well in advance. So what does one do? Is it too little, too late?
Unfortunately, yes. It's only calamities and crisis which, brings about the awareness that something like this can happen. One genuinely believes, and we see it in the insurance industry day in, day out, where people say it can't happen to me. Unfortunately, if you're not insured against a risk, chances are that is something you'll have to bear the risk for yourself. And I'm saying, in light of the crisis that's happening right now, we should all bring about awareness. These insurance plans are typically very, very inexpensive, and we should try and insure ourselves against these. So the next time you have time, you must insure yourself against all the risks that you see around you today.
Okay, that's the outlook coming in. Unfortunately, as Tarun said, it is only when a terrible situation arises that one really gets more awareness for the need of insuring yourself and taking the adequate steps in advance. So it's very important that you do so well in advance before disaster strikes. Tell you what, we're taking a quick break right here on the show. Do stay with us on the other side. We will have more questions and queries answered. Tarun Mathur is with us. Tarun, let's get on board our next query from P. Raju. and he talks about how can one claim loss of a house in times of a natural crisis. So what is the latest update in terms of the home insurance that one needs to take?
So if you've got home insurance, it's quite easy. At the time of buying the policy, you would have indicated the assets that you have in terms of structure, in terms of content. Now, if you've lost your house, God be with you, if you need any help on the financial side and your house insured, you just need to make a call to your respective insurance company, or if you bought through Policybazaar, then we have a helpline number too. You just call up, quote your phone number and your email ID, all the details will come out, and the insurance company will express claim your money to you almost immediately. Of course, there will be some amount of loss assessment that the insurance company needs to do. If you have something to the extent of, let's say, a photograph or a video, do provide that. Or there will be loss assessment parameters that the insurance companies would set up, which they will carry out on their own and ask you a few questions, and your claim would be with you very, very quickly.
Okay, so it's a fairly simple process that one needs to undertake in terms of their home insurance. Now, we've got an email query that's been sent in to us from Dhruv Raj. He asks, what is the process to insure one's business or one's shop in the case of a natural calamity? A lot of businesses, have been destroyed as well, as we've seen. And in various natural calamities, a lot of people, it's their bread and butter. What does one do in case of this? What are the steps that you need to take in advance as well, Tarun, in order to insure oneself?
Like we discussed earlier, if you have insurance, then yes, you will get a claim. But if you don't have insurance right now, insurance is meant for unforeseen risks, not for ones that are upon us now. So if you were prudent and you had taken insurance, then it's rather easy. So if you have a business or if you have a shop, let's come to shop insurance. There is insurance for everything. There's insurance for the shop itself if you own it. For the content. So if you have some sort of inventory that you would have filed at the time of buying the policy, then all of that will be financially paid to you. So what happens by the time of buying a shop insurance is they will ask you what is the kind of inventory you have, what is the amount of money that you put in the inventory, and that exact same amount of money is given to you by the insurance company in the case of a natural calamity. I know of somebody who did have a shop which was taken away because of an act of God, and because he had maintained everything, he got a claim on the inventory, on the shop itself, the facade, all the advertising and branding that's there. It's all covered. So I would implore everyone to see, the prudence of actually going about buying a shop insurance once you're setting it up.
All right. Make sure you get an insurance when you're setting up your business itself. That's very important. Now, another question that we have coming in from Karan Singh, he asks, does car insurance cover natural disaster? What exactly is the outlook regarding that, Tarun?
So car insurance, in general, there are two kinds of car insurance, right? And one is a superset of the other. If you have only a third-party policy, then the only thing you cover is the damage caused by your car to some other person's property or life. It does not cover your own car. But if you bought a comprehensive plan or comprehensive car insurance plan, then it will cover your car. In the case of a natural calamity also, it is covered. So if there's any damage that comes to your car, if your car does get stolen, or if it's, in the case of natural disasters, if it, let's say, in the case of the floods, take away your car, then the entire amount up to the insured declared value of the car is paid to you. So, to summarize it, yes, your car is covered from natural calamities.
All right. That is the latest when it comes to the car insurance. But Tarun, I just want to ask you that, I was talking about at the beginning that a lot of valuable documents, land deeds, bank documents, ID cards, ration cards, etc., those could be missing and those could be damaged as well. Of course, people are in a quandary over the development, but there are certain ways that you can procure your papers back. So if you could just give us a little bit of an insight, what does one do with, important documents like a ration card, a voter ID, or your Aadhaar card, for example, as well, in order to retrieve those documents or file for temporary or new documents?
So most government IDs can be reproduced or reissued in all circumstances. So some of them will require a first information report with the police. For example, if you've lost your license, then you need to report that. You need to get a report from the police and then go and approach the relevant authorities, and they'll be able to reissue you, the same document. In the case of something like an Aadhaar card, it's a very digital interface. All you need to do is, if you remember your Aadhaar card, if you've got a soft copy of it somewhere, you can go and get it reprinted. So for most documentation, there will be a procedure. Most of these procedures are present on the relevant authorities' website. So I would request that, if you have any of these documents missing, or if they've flown away, or if they've flooded away, then you can go to the authorities' website, find out the procedure, and reapply for them. It is not very tough. It may take a bit of time because of this will be happening to a lot of people, but it happens, and it's in good time.
All right. It's been a great having you with us on the show. I'm sure, Tarun, you've given a lot of advice to viewers out there who are watching as well, in order to how they can brace themselves at a time of a natural calamity or a natural disaster, how you can claim your insurance in case you are a victim to one such crisis. It's been a pleasure having you with us on the show.